Okay, hi. I'm going to try to make this quick. My name is Cooper Allen. I am in Lab Section X21 of Physics 2212 at Georgia Tech. Yeah. This is lab number 2. Very similar, you will find in many cases, in many aspects throughout this presentation, to lab 1. So if there's anything that I reference that you don't understand, that video is also on my channel. And I encourage you to go look at that for more context. The purpose here is basically the same. Just creating a computational model of the electric forces between two charged pieces of tape. But this time, instead of doing it as point charges, to do it as distributed charges along an actual line. Effectively a charged rod problem, but using pieces of tape and modeling that in a computer. So yeah. Same fundamental principles because the physics hasn't changed. It's just kind of the way we're looking at it. The charge of the tape, we're using the same data as well. We didn't have to collect new data, so that's going to be the same number. More equations. Here we have the link to the new code. And here is that code. Here's the model with all of the individual charges and the whole net charge going up that way. You can see there's a very large discrepancy here between the gravitational force, which is coming down here, but you can't actually see. It's too small of an arrow, and the electric force is just going up there. Here are all of the initial conditions. Here, and actually the data that we had. Here is the equation I wrote, no, the function I wrote for calculating the electric field. Here is a function that we were given that basically sets up all of the linear stuff. We were told not to mess with that. This sets up basically the rows of arrows that you see, and the info for the top and bottom rows of tape. We have some scale factors here, so not everything is a one-to-one scale. In fact, it's pretty far from it. But, yep, a bunch of other stuff that was provided, added in our own info where necessary, graphed it, had it output. So, what if we had modeled each of our tapes as a single point charge, like in the previous lab? We would have gotten exactly the same results as the previous lab. And if you want to see what those were, they are, as I said, on my channel already. But yeah, those are different estimates from what we got this time, and that's just because of the way you do the math. It's a charged rod behaves differently from a point charge, so it's not the same equation. You're not going to get the same numbers. This number is more likely to be close to the real value, because a piece of tape does not function as one singular charge in the center of the piece of tape. It functions much more like a bunch of charges distributed along linear object, which is what we were modeling with this lab. So our info this time should be much more accurate. And yeah, that concludes this lab report. As I said, very similar to the last one. If you have any questions about that, feel free to go look at that. I will also have my code available. And yeah, have a good day.